Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us. Your presence and participation is greatly appreciated. You are tuning in to the Wisdom and Intuition Network, where people like you come together to receive support and be inspired. Thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us. Your presence and participation is greatly appreciated.
Hello, this is MaryAiñe with Angels Light Your Way, and today is, what is today? April 25th, and we are talking about, when things get too hectic, that's when we've got to turn up faith and use it when things get too rocky. So we're going to faith it, fake it, make it through shaky times in our world. And it's not a simple task. It takes some diligence and it takes habit to actually bring on a feeling of peace that everything is working out beautifully. Now, today has been a very interesting day for me because I've had so many seemingly serendipitous things happen that it proves to me once again that being held in the arms of my Creator, my Mother, Father, God, that I am able to just trust that everything is going to work out better than I imagined. And in fact, I have a dear friend that is going through a lot of stressful moving, planning, taking a big leap over the pond, and so because of circumstances in her life, its faith has made it very hard. But we just ran into each other, and she was telling me that things are working out even better than she expected. That it's really. She was so excited. It was so fun to see her and understand that what's happening is her faith is building again. Her faith, because some, difficult things happened. She lost a grandchild, the only one, then her daughter, the only one, then her son, her only son, and it's kind of hard to navigate through life when we get hit with these big blows, and it seems like they just kind of hit one after another. They say things come in threes, and so we need to look back sometimes. We need to look back at how things have worked out really beautifully in the past, better than we expected. And that is the mantra for today, this week, for this month, that things are working out better than I expected. I like that. And that's one I gave to her the other day, but I think it fits no matter what. So let's just take a moment to just get settled here. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths, and as we do this, we're going to let everything fall away that was happening earlier, and just breathe in. Nice deep breaths, breathing in and noticing how your body just responds. Breathing in another time, and allow your breath to rejuvenate your body to bring you to a place that you feel connected. Connected to yourself, connected to your source. Able to lean into the arms of your Creator, feeling held, feeling soothed, and the gentleness that comes from allowing yourself to let go for a moment, to let go and let God or Goddess or Spirit, the universe, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, what the words are fine, whatever it is that makes you feel safe, makes you feel that you are love, that you are grace incarnate, that life loves you so much. And then you look as if you look at your life as if it's one of your favorite places, which may be a meadow next to a beautiful pond. It may be a mountaintop. It may be by the ocean. What is it that makes you feel safe? That's your place to go in your mind's eye and know that in this place, this sacred place that belongs to you, that you are safe and protected, that you have a beautiful surrounding, you have beautiful grass under your feet or a beautiful ground cover that feels soft. You have trees and birds and butterflies. You might feel frogs, hear frogs, feel the grass, feel the air as it caresses you, the sun, and feel the warmth of Mother Earth coming up below you. And as you feel this, imagine the serenity that comes when you look up at the beautiful blue sky and see the big puffy clouds. And just take this into your body as you hear the water from the stream, knowing that all is well in your world. You see the beautiful flowers coming up for springtime. And take a deep breath in as you feel into your body. You feel your heart gentling, feeling calmer. You feel your breath going deeper. You feel a peacefulness around you, a beautiful peacefulness that lets you know that all is right in your world at this moment. And it is. And we have some really wonderful things to talk about today. So gently bring yourself into focus. You can still stay very relaxed. And we shall begin. And beginning, I decided to draw one of the cards that is, I love these cards. The angels are always so right on. And I'm imagining that one of the questions that is on people's minds is, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Well, one of the big things that has happened is that Mercury has gone direct. That will help a lot. There are a lot of things, tumultuous things happening up in the heavens that do influence our life, and a lot of things in politics. But even there, if you look at politics, you'll see that things have calmed down a little bit. That really harsh behavior that was happening several weeks ago had everyone on edge, and it was frightening. It was very frightening. But this card that I pulled is a beautiful card from the angel deck of Doreen Virtues, the Angel Tarot. And it shows 10 unicorns, white unicorns. It's the 10 of air, and air is all about spirit and what, our breath as we breathe into our body. And this signifies an opening, beautiful opening, and in a way that it's being shown to you that the end of a difficult situation has come. Things are looking up. It's getting better. And so embrace the change. Accept things. Expect them to get better. And if there's something that you've been recovering from, an illness or a lot of drama, maybe an addiction that could be an addiction to food or drugs or gambling or sex, there's so many different things, shopping, watching TV, avoiding, know that is shifting for you as well. And so serendipitously, and there are no accidents, but I love that word. It's such a fun word. Things happened for me today that surprised me, and I'll tell you about them in a little while because they also excite me. And so I'll let you know more about that. But to talk more about the angels and how we restore our faith, oh gosh, in shaky times, well, some of these stories will actually illustrate exactly what I'm talking about. So as you are able to reaffirm the goodness that's in your heart, in your soul, even if there's things you can think of that you did wrong, that you're probably, well, not probably, but possibly holding some shame around, know that is part of your sacred contract, that it's part of how we learn. And when we begin to restore our faith in the goodness of man and the goodness of our path, our purpose, then things happen that tell us, yes, things are getting better. Just look at the results that are happening. And so I'll tell you, one of the things that I woke up with this morning was I have someone in my life that has some speech development delay. And so I know about this program called Linda Mood Bell. My son went to it actually when he was in 5th grade for reading and writing, spelling. And it's based right here in San Luis Obispo where I am. And so it really helped him so much. It helped his confidence. And it helped me. He was very good at memorizing, and that's why he got to 5th grade without his teachers really knowing what was going on. But there was something about the way his mind worked that phonetics didn't work for him. And so Linda Mood Bell gave him a whole different way of learning what these words were written out felt like when he shaped them in his mouth so he would know how to read them and how to speak them when he read or to write them. And these are the things like the OUs and the EAs and the IEs and the GH and the PH and all these different spellings of words that are confusing to anybody because they're not just like, okay, a word that is pick, is P-I-K. Well, that's not correct. That's like the way the miners used to write. It's P-I-C-K. You've got to add that C and the K and the C and the H and S and H. And then you've got to learn what sounds those make and if it's the end of the word or the beginning of the word. And so this program gave him the ability to learn this, and it changed his life. So I was looking actually on eBay, and I found the first program that would work for this young child that's under 5 to help him learn to verbalize with the help of his homeschooling and his parents. Well, when I went, I had to take a CPR class this morning, which was great that it all worked out. that I could get into it before a deadline that I had. And then I decided to take a walk in downtown at the beach, and I was looking for this particular gallery. And as I walked through it was kind of a walkway through several stores. It was real cute the way they did it. But I noticed as I passed a big window, there was one of the boxes that was from Linda Mood Bell, and it's the STARS program, Seeking Stars. And I recognized the box, and so I waved through the window at the woman. It was a publishing company, and she came and opened the door, and we talked for a few minutes, and she invited me in and gave me information about what I need to know, and that there's actually an outreach program for this, that if you don't live in an area where there are teachers set up and a physical building to go to, that you can buy the program and work with the child yourself, and they even loan you a laptop in case you don't have one that you send back. And it was remarkable, because exactly what was on my mind that I woke up with this morning. And here I am talking to someone about it just like that, and I was on my way to someplace else. So, okay, I'm on the right path. That's what this occurrence today tells me, that yes, the angels are helping me, and I'm on the right path. I'm getting the right messages, or the instinct or the idea popping in my head that I need to look at this today. And this kind of thing, it happens all the time. It happens to me often about different things. It just, oh gosh, whether it's getting the flea stuff for my dog, that, oh, I've got to do this today. Yeah, and I look at the calendar and yep, I got to order this because it's due next week. Or a bill that maybe I forgot about, I get the instinct to find it and pay it. It's like I find it in my desk, but the instinct hits me like, wow, it just kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere. But no, it doesn't. It's the angel team that I have that help me. And that's what's really fun and wonderful, is seeing what happens when we start trusting and having faith that we can find the answers to questions that we have. We can the solutions can come up. And so that's one way that the angels love to help us. And the key to the angels helping us is that, yes, we have to recognize that they're there, and we have to ask them for help. We have to ask them to please help us set up a program for ourselves, or a plan, or stay on track, or how to talk to my spouse or my boss, how to work out this trip, what's the best route to take. All those kind of things are part of what the angels are more than happy to help us with. So I see that there's a lady that she's on the web call. I don't know for sure, Sue is your name, if we can interact, but I'm going to try. If you have a microphone and a headset that you can hear, you might be able to do it with your phone if you were to call in. But I see that I'm going to try. So, Sue, are you there? I'd like to bring you on and see if there's something that you would like to contribute or ask to what we're talking about. Now, I'm not hearing anything yet, but please, if you can hear me and you are able to speak up, I'm going to wait and see. I've got you off of mute, so I do believe that if it's a web call, that you would have to have a microphone attached to your computer to be able to speak to me. But there is a phone number, if that is an option that would work, that you could call in. And let me see. I'm going to try one other thing with the web call first, and see if this works. Yep, I think you're probably going to have the a microphone. So if you want to, if you're able to, I will give you a phone number. It's 425-440-5010. And I'll repeat that in case you weren't ready. The dial-in number is 425-440-5010. And the guest conference PIN is 677086#. So if you're able to come in, that would be wonderful. I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, let me see. I'm going to try one more thing and see what happens. So while we're waiting, I should be able to hear you if you chime in. That's what'll happen, and then I'll go to you. In the meantime, let's continue on, because some days, I've talked about this before, while I'm on doing my day, and I went in to have the CPR class like I had said, then I was going to a gallery to see if they would take some of my products to sell, and nobody was there, and that's when I went past the Gander Publishing, which is another part of the Linda Mood Bell teaching system, their businesses, and got all this wonderful information that I need. Then I was able to communicate with the lady on eBay to see if I could just bundle up the products that she's selling, because it's exactly what I need for this young boy. And one more product I may include, and then I'll have it, so I'll be able to look it over and then get it to him and his parents. And then I went to the grocery store, and well, even before that, the post office. It's like somebody wanted some work that I'm able to do. I'm also a massage therapist, and so I made up an appointment, and I connected with people that way too today that I didn't expect to. And then I went to the grocery store, and here's my friend that I mentioned. She's lost her grown children and her grandchild, and it has just really hurt her so much. She's been lost for a while, but she's coming back. I mean, she knows that she's here for a reason, and she's trying to understand and have faith that everything is working out. And so one of the things that has been a concern is she's going to have to move in 3 months. And she ran into a friend of hers that said there's a really good possibility there's someone leaving a little cottage, and the rent is very reasonable, and she's got a really good chance of getting this. And if she can get this, then she'll stay put and live here for more years. And she was just, I ran into her at the grocery store, and it was so wonderful to see her, because I know how hard it's been for her. And we're dear friends, and we talk a lot, even when she lived, 15 hours away. We would talk a lot, and I could just feel her energy when she needed kind of a shot in the arm, a big heart hug, a God shot is what I like to call them sometimes, an infusion of love. That's what it is, and know that the angels are surrounding you. And I would call her, and every time she's like, I so needed to hear from you right now. I'm so much in pain over the loss of my children and the what's going on and how's she going to do this or do that. And I would keep encouraging her to trust. And it's hard when you've lost everyone. When you've had the death of a child, but when you've had a death of two and a grandchild, that's really a hard road. And so coming back to faith can be really challenging. But I'm in a very unique position that I have very dear friends of mine, very close, my best friend, my younger sister, my oldest brother, a dear, dear friend that we were very close, and now we're at least 12 hours away in another direction. And my best friend, like I said, have all lost a grown child, either murder or suicide or drug overdose, car accident, drowning, cancer, more cancer, another vehicle accident. And I'm like it feels kind of like being the hub with these friends and family members of mine, because the closest ones all know each other now, and they're close and they're able to speak about it to each other. And I just find it so interesting that I know so many people that have lost grown children, all around 28 years old when they died. And I've taken hospice training with Daniel Brinkley, and it's hospice for veterans, and I love the way he teaches, because it's so positive and affirming that you know, the other side is really a wonderful place to be. And if a person is afraid to pass over, to die, that there's help on the other side. There's relatives that come. There's people that come to help you. And when someone dies suddenly, like a car accident, or, well, some of the harsher ways you probably know it's happening because you're being tortured, but a drug overdose, the person doesn't realize that they died. And this sets up a belief that they're not dead, because in our culture in America, we don't talk about death and dying. It's not a topic anybody wants to talk about. I have to take a sip of water here, so just hold on just a moment, please. And so when I was first doing, I'd call it my research, because it was after my niece was murdered, many years after she was murdered, and around the time that my nephew took his own life, that I was at a friend's house, and she had a full bookcase. It wasn't even hers. The person she rented from, she rented the house furnished. This book jumped right off the wall. I mean, it jumped right out of the bookcase, practically. That was called People That Don't Know They're Dead. And it's because they die suddenly, and it's often tragic, car accident, or someone takes their life instantly, or an overdose of some kind. And they talked about the culture that doesn't teach about death and dying, and that you do go to a better place. Well, it gave me the ability to look at some of the people in my life and in my practice that had been struggling with drugs and being addicts, and that maybe there was more going on than just their addiction, even though they'd been through many programs. You know, their parents are losing faith that anything's going to work because they keep using, and They just don't seem to ever get it, and it's insidious in our society. So I think everybody probably knows somebody who has a child, a husband, a boyfriend, a neighbor that does drugs addictively and excessively, and is maybe OD'd and been rescued and brought back to life, and so they, when that happens, they don't know they're dead. And that is when the souls that die suddenly, that are very depressed, this book goes on to talk about how they discovered this, that they're looking for a warm body, and they will possess a body that falls out drunk, that goes unconscious. And so I know this is a little bit off of the faith and learning, but maybe not. Maybe this is perfect. Because in this study, there was a person who could see dead people. There was a clairvoyant that was married to the hypnotherapist. And so they went to a bar where a lot of people were getting drunk. And the guy who could see dead people could see all kinds of spirits just hovering around waiting for somebody to pass out drunk. And they would dive into their body. Well, okay, that's one way that this happens. And then, so you've got that person's addiction, because if they're hanging around bars, then they're pretty depressed when they died, and they didn't move on to the next level. They're earthbound spirits. And so they're looking for a warm body to be in so they can move around easier. So the other way this happened was when somebody was in the hospital getting surgery and they were, anesthetized, when they go back into either recovery or in their room, the morgue was always in the basement of the hospital, and they'd bring in somebody and the spirit hadn't left their body yet. They would rise up and jump into the first warm body that had no boundaries. This is another reason why boundaries are so important and so strong, because if you have good boundaries, there's several things that are going to happen. You're not going to let people disrespect you. You're not going to stand for people berating you and making you feel horrible, because that lowers your vibration. You won't stay around people with a low vibration because you won't be able to. Emotional vampires, that's another one. Emotional vampires are people that they tell you all their woes and what's wrong all the time, and they suck your energy. They literally tap into your energy if you have no boundaries, and they take your energy, and then you feel depleted. You feel absolutely just like you've got to go to sleep because you've got no energy. That's an energy vampire. An emotional vampire is somebody that manipulates you, they've got all these problems and you've got to help them, and it's always the same kind of story every time, different details in it, but it's just the story of woe all the time, and they deplete your energy, or they get you to help them or give them money, and they're always having problems. You've got to have boundaries around these guys and let them go. Actually, it's like if you are not living in harmony, then, and the person or the people that are around you are not uplifting to you, you don't feel better after being with them, then your energy is being depleted and your vibrational level is getting to be rock bottom, and that's where depression is. And it's no fun, and it's hard to get out of. And depression really is. It just sucks the life out of you, and you are nearly paralyzed in severe, actually not nearly paralyzed. You are unable to help yourself in deep depression. And so noticing when somebody is doing that to you, that you're feeling depleted, you're feeling sad and depressed being around them, it just sucks the life out of you. like that's a person to let go of. Let them have their own journey, even if it's a dear loved one. It doesn't mean forever. I mean, if they actually get it together, they get therapy, they get help, and they become more generous with their life, then sure, revisit having a relationship with them. But if it's taking your life away from you, then the choice would be that, you know, God has no grandchildren. We are all God's children. And that person will be taken care of and given all the opportunities they need to uplift their life and change their outlook. That's what 12-step programs are all about, is changing your life, turning it around, making it better. And that's an individual choice. No one can make you do that. That is your own choice that, dang, I'm tired of living in this numb world, in this no man's land, or even, I mean, there were many years ago, I felt like Walking Dead, that nobody was really home. I was on robot control, so I know that place well. I know what deep depression is. And yes, it took a lot of prayer and a lot of 12-step work and a lot of therapy and a lot of getting away from the person that really, together we created the awful situation that we were in. It wasn't him. It wasn't me. It was, we both did it together, because I didn't have boundaries and I didn't know how to stop or take a stand and say no more until I finally left for good. And the decision that I was at in that depression was sink or swim. That if I stayed, I was going to die. And if I left, I might have a chance to get my life together and make a better life for my children, for our children, and that both of us could get help. And that was the beginning. See, I was in 12 steps in recovery for 6 months before I figured that out. But that's a long story. I may have told it on one of my other programs, and so I don't want to go into that right now. But I do know how it feels to be in deep depression. And I also know what it takes to get out of it. And yes, knowing that I am held in the loving arms of my Father God and Mother God, I took both of them. I wanted both because I knew, that you have to have a mother, a loving mother as well. And I had loving parents. And so I was really coming back to my roots as well. And I had to focus on that in order to trust that what I was doing was the right thing, to protect my children and to teach them that I could not accept any more abuse. And it's not easy. It can be the hardest thing you ever do. But do it. Do it. Don't let someone take your life away. And so let me get back to the I kind of went off on a little bit there, but I think it was important that when people are depressed and they suck the life out of you, you have a choice to stop letting them come to your home, or if they're in your home, that they have to move or somebody has to move, because it may be the only way you can take your life back and make a life for yourself where you can grow and have faith that life is working for you. And so let me think for just a minute, what I was saying about the depression and the drugs and everything, that when I studied with Daniel Brinkley, and he's died 3 times, he's written beautiful books about what has happened when he died. And so it's Sandy Hatfield, who is the president of the Twilight Brigade, which is it's an organization Daniel founded, and it serves veterans. And main premise is that no man die alone, that someone will be with them to hold their hand when they pass over. And so the last book that Daniel wrote with his wife Catherine is Secrets of the Light. And they're beautiful books. And it tells about what happens in the afterlife. And then Sandy Hatfield, the president of the Twilight Brigade, wrote another one, 0 Degrees of Separation, that she talks about what happens. And so it's calming to realize that there are helpers on the other side, that, whoever preceded you in death comes to greet you. And they show you the ropes. And an old book written in the 1850s, I believe it was, My Dream of Heaven, was a book like that she just paints such a beautiful picture of what it's like in heaven, that it's very soothing to anyone who has lost a loved one. So back to my friend who is stressing out, because she's got to move in a couple of months, and where's she going to move? What can she afford? Rents here are very, very high. The price of houses is just astronomical, and it's a beautiful place to live, but it's everything's going up so much. It's wild. Just this morning, she was called up by a friend who told her about, this potential apartment, not even an apartment, a little studio place that is going to be under $1,000. And if she could get that, it would just be an answer to her prayers. And she could stay here. She was planning to move far away and start another life. And she could stay here. And so the look on her face is what I want to really express to you, is that it's the first time in, years that I have seen her really excited and just bubbly and, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. And yes, it's better than I thought it was, which, a mantra that I gave her, this is better than I expected, to start being positive, and that positive energy has uplifted her vibration. And so she's able to attract good things, better circumstances to her. And that's another reason why we want to work with the angels, is so that we can attract better responses and situations to us. And the angels orchestrate that for us. And so what she works in a grocery store right now, and I came in and I figured it was about, at least 45 minutes before I thought she had to be at her work, and she was there, and she was so excited she had to tell me, and I had to listen, even though I needed to be across town. I was about 5 minutes late to my appointment, but I had to listen to her joy and see how excited she was, and her cheeks were all rosy and just, she was so just excited. And that's not the way she woke up this morning. Nope, she woke up worried, but just anchoring in that excitement. When you have worries, I want to give you a tool to use. When you have things that concern you and you don't know what to do about them, and they're pulling your energy down, the eye movement is so powerful, because part of what happens is the one side of our brain starts thinking too much, and it's like people call it the monkey mind or the committee, or there's various names that we'll use. And if you take your eyes, I'm going to tell you this, and then we can do it together, is that you look to the right as if you're looking over your ear a little bit without moving your head. So you're just looking to the right comfortably, not too far, don't make it hurt, and then take your eyes just straight over to the left, and then back to the right, and over to the left, and back to the right. So let's do this. So you're going to take your eyes right, left, right, left. We're going to do this about 8 or 10 times. And just remember where you were at when we started this, so you calibrate what happened, like a 1 to 10, maybe it was a 6 or a 7, you felt some stuff coming up. And back and forth, we're going to go a little bit longer. Okay, now shut your eyes tight and open them, and tight and open, tight and open, like you're pulling up the stuff that was bugging you. Just shoot it out of your eyes. And now 3 deep breaths to really grab the stuff that was bugging you. And then release it with a big ha. And again, ha. And once more, ha. And now just sit back and notice how your body feels. Often people say they feel tingly, they feel lighter. And it's softening. And so what this is doing is it's actually connecting in the right and left hemisphere of your brain, kind of like doing a cross crawl. That will do this too. And so both sides of your energy system, it's an electric system that when they get kind of misfiring, that's when we get all the mind chatter and the, oh my gosh, what if, and if I didn't, and oh, I'm worried, and oh, the worst things could happen, and, the wringing of the hands, that's how the thoughts go. You do this movement 8 or 10 times back and forth over your, right, left, right, left, right, left. So you look kind of like a cuckoo clock, but that's okay. And you can do this anywhere. It takes about 10 seconds. If you're feeling anxious, try this. If somebody's cut you off on the road as you're traveling down the street, try this at the next stoplight. Something, people are being icky at work or something. Just go into the bathroom and do this. And maybe it's somebody in your home. Take a moment and do this. And you'll feel your energy level shift. You'll feel your vibration come up, and then you back and forth about 8 or 10 times, and then 3 blinks. You're going to shut your eyes tight and open and tight and open, and you're actually taking the energy and shooting it out of your eyes, and then 3 deep breaths. And just notice how much softer you feel. It's a wonderful thing to do for yourself. And then you can just put your feet on the ground and imagine putting your roots down into the earth, just sending your attention into the earth, letting your roots go all the way down into the center of the earth, where you can find a beautiful crystal or rock to kind of anchor yourself to. And then take a deep breath up, pulling it up, the energy of the earth up into your first chakra, the bottom of your spine. You just bring it up, all the way up into your spine, and then breathe out and send the energy up into the heavens. And then take another breath, and this time bring the energy down from the heavens and into your body, and send it out through your feet. And do that several times as well. Just letting the energy and the breath go on automatic. That you let this happen in your body as often as possible, so that you stay calm. When you feel calm, then it's easier to walk in faith. And sometimes, if we don't feel calm, we got to fake it. We smile and we are nice, and we do the best we can to stay calm and just let that person have their drama and not get wrapped up in it. And if you get attached to people, you can simply cut the cords, I call it. And it's like slicing down the front of your body and the back as best you can, and cutting the cords so that you not letting them attach their energy to you. And these are all things that I talk about in my classes, how to do these things. And in my talks, I try to bring one or two energy release exercises forward for people. And, when you learn to do this and you make it a habit, when you're feeling tense, when you're feeling afraid, when you're angry at someone or you're feeling picked on, you just go into yourself and do this. And it really makes a difference, because then you're in charge of yourself again. You're remembering who you really are, and you're calm. And so your vibration goes up, your vibration that you're putting out to the universe. And see, everything that we draw to us comes through vibration. And it's the emotions that create the energy. They put it in motion that create the vibration. And if you're positive and you're happy, then good things come more often than not. If you're down in the dumps and you feel awful, well, energy matches itself, and it draws to you people that are down in the dumps and bummed out. So that's where faking it, and making it happen is how we get through the shaky times. And if you watch the news too much, it's going to be, it'll make you nervous. It really will. Too much TV with their commercials and the bombarding your senses. Too much internet bombarding your senses makes one anxious. So bring it down. Start thinking about your breath, connecting both sides of your brain, the right and left hemisphere of your brain with the eye movement. And then think about what you're grateful for. Who do you love so much that when you think of them, or you think about when your child was born, or you fell in love, and that beautiful bliss? See, that's what I saw in my friend today, that beautiful bliss. That you take that and you anchor it into your heart with a word or a color. And I'll do this with her later. I didn't do it with her earlier, but I definitely do it with her later. So she has that anchor along with the mantra of, this is better than I expected. That's something you can use too. And when you feel that way, attach a color to it. And anchor it into your heart by taking circles over your heart. You can have an open hand or a closed, soft fist, and anchor in the energy. Anchor it in with a color. So whenever you think of the color, maybe it feels a beautiful pink or a rose or a blue or a yellow. Whatever the color is for you, that's yours. And then you use it when you're not feeling quite perky enough, or you're not feeling very energetic. You take your hand over your heart again and remember that color, and remember the feeling that you anchored into your heart, and just start taking these circles over your heart and thinking about this and raising your vibration. Ground your energy into the earth, sending your roots down into the ground, and connect with the heavens above. And sometimes we like to send a silver cord into the ground from our tailbone, and a golden cord into the heavens from the crown of our head. And then you let that energy flow through you. It's like a big figure 8, and you let it flow through you automatically. So I've given you several tools today to use when you're not really feeling in faith. You're worried and you don't know what to do. And okay, you're at work, so you got to kind of fake it, so you know how that works. But faking it is as simple as smiling at everybody you meet. And just when they ask you how you're doing, it's like better and better. Better and better is a good response. Good enough is a good response. It's a great day. Everything's wonderful. Whatever it is for you, that's what you put out there. So that's one way. And then the more you say it, the response that you get is people, it makes them happy. And that joy surrounds you. You surround them with your joy. It's reciprocal. Things get better. People are smiling more. So that's when faking it is like, yes, I'm having a fabulous day. The sun's out. I have food in the fridge. I've got gas in the car, a roof over my head, a job to go to. I feel fabulous. Fabulous. It's better and better. And then doing the energy alignment with your eyes going to the right and the left, back and forth about 10 times, and then shut your eyes tight and open 3 times, and 3 deep cleansing breaths to let it all out, and check in and see how you feel. And then gratitude. Saying to yourself out loud, writing down what you are grateful for will bring your spirits up. And then it's easy to look out at your surroundings and find something that you are grateful for. Find people in your life that you're grateful for, that you love. Find wildflowers or even the beautiful little flowers that pop up on weeds. There's so many things. The sun is in the skies. The sky's blue. Whatever it is, there's birds, there's anything. Wear your favorite colors. Those are the things that help you as you also invite your angel team to help you make it a great day. And see, it's not about just having a great day. It's you have the choice to make it a great day. And you call on your angel team. And they will help you. They'll give you some good vibes from somebody. Somebody will compliment you about something, and you'll feel, oh, thank you. Oh, that makes me feel so good. And then you give it to the next person. You compliment them. Their smile, their dress, their blouse, their shoes, whatever it is, their hairdo. Compliment something. When you go to the grocery store, you go to work, see what you can say nice to someone and just watch what happens. It's magic. It's wonderful. And that's how you fake it until you make it, and you faith that you have faith that things are going to get better in shaky times because you just made them better in your world. And the more you make your life better, the more good things come to you, because that's the vibration, the energy that you're putting out, and the universe always reciprocates. Good things happen. And okay, I'm just going to put a little caveat. If something bad happens, it may just be the best thing that ever happened to you because it made a change in your life. And that's something that I think I'll talk about next time. When things look like they're bad, but they actually change your life and make it better than ever. So I will be back. Let me take a look at the calendar. It'll be the second week. It's always the second and fourth week of the month. You can reach me through my email. I'll give that to you, and I'll give you this one because it's real easy over the air. Is Deeper Than Memory. It's spelled out Deeper Than Memory @gmail.com. That's a good way to connect with me. Or my website, Angels Light Your Way. And they also have a phone. It's 805-215-8808. I'm on Facebook. My name is MaryAiñe Curtis, and Anya is the Irish spelling. That is A-I-N-E. So MaryAiñe is all one word, and then my last name is Curtis, and you'll see that on my angelslightyourway.com website. And you can contact me if you'd like to know more or to work with me. I'm here for you. So thank you so much for staying with me today. And I love seeing people on the program that are calling in and listening. It just makes my day. And I hope you're having a beautiful day up there in Northern California. I used to live in the East Bay. That's one place. And I haven't lived in only a couple other states. So let me see. I was looking for the calendar to give you the next date. It'll be in May. And it looks like May 10th. I will be back right here with Angels Light Your Way. Until then, love yourself, be connected to your angels, and trust that everything is better than you imagined. For now, this is MaryAiñe Curtis with Angels Light Your Way, and I will see you very soon. Many, many sweet blessings and big loving hugs. Bye for now.